Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video we are going to talk about competition research. This is the second part and this is paid tools. So we're going to fly through this one because the last one we discussed a lot and it drug on quite a bit. Just to refresh, there are the main factors. We are looking at backlinks, how many they have and what are the quality. Then we're looking at social signals and the site authority. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so what I've done is I've already gone to Google and I've selected a couple of URLs from the search result, and we're going to go take a look at them with some of the paid tools. Now, the first one we're going to start at is Majestic SEO. So this is the paid version of Majestic, and all I'm going to do is copy this link and go over here, and I'm going to paste it in, and I'm going to search for it. And I'm not too concerned with the URL. What I'm concerned about is the root and subdomain. So if we look at the root domain, as we discussed earlier, this is a very strong domain. It's got a high trust flow and a high citation flow. Now, as you can see from the paid version, you're going to get what's called a topical trust flow. And what this is saying a score between 0 and 100, showing the trust flow within each topic. Topic scores are independent of each other. So this is kind of showing you the topical flow of where the backlinks are coming from. So it's getting a lot of backlinks from computer news and media sites, computer and security sites, computer software operating system, home and consumer websites. So it's basically giving you what the topic of the site the backlink is coming from. So then we can go and we can look at referring domains. And it'll break down where all the backlinks are coming, the domains of all the backlinks are coming from. And it'll even give you the trust flow and citation flow of each referring domain. And then we can go to backlinks. And this is going to give you the trust flow, the citation flow, and whether or not it was deleted, when the link was found, when it was last seen, and when they noticed that it was deleted. So one nice thing that you can actually do from here, if I was trying to reverse engineer someone's backlink profile, is I could go to each site and start looking at them. Like I could go to Wikipedia and start looking at Wikipedia to see if I could replicate the link that they got. Because a lot of links you're going to find are in maybe the comment section of a website or something like that, where you can go out and you can just replicate the link that they got. And some of them aren't, but it gives you a good idea of where they're coming from and if you can replicate that link. So then you can look at new ones, new links that they have just discovered. It'll give you a nice bar graph of all the links they got in that date range. And you can go out and look at links that they have lost. Now let's go back to summary. And you can see that if we change this to the subdomain, it puts the www in front, and it's still a very strong backlink profile, and you can go through and do each and everything that you had done. So let's look at a site that's not as strong. Okay, so it didn't find the URL. Let's look at the root domain. So as you can see, this site is not nearly as strong. And you can do basically the exact same thing that we had talked about. What I do is I'll go and look at the backlinks. And I'll look through all of these, and I'll actually go to each site. And I'll look to see if I can replicate this backlink. Now, this is coming from an RSS feed. And this is the anchor text of the backlink. So you can even break it down by anchor text and get a good anchor text ratio, because this is very important when you're building backlinks, and we'll dive into this later. But you can see what is the text that they're using when they link to a site, when a site links to this exact site. So you can go through and look at all these, and like I said before, it'll give you ideas on how to replicate what they were doing. So that's pretty much it for Majestic. Moving along, we're going to look at some other paid tools. Okay, so moving along, we're going to look at a tool called SEMrush, and this is another paid tool that I really like to use. And we're going to go copy this URL, and we're going to go ahead and paste it in here. Now, what this tool does is it gives you an idea of what kind of keyword phrases the page would be ranking for, how much traffic they think they're getting. Another great feature is you can look at some paid advertising techniques that some of these websites are doing. So if we click on, we can go here and we can look on the page. And it's giving me the top organic keywords they're ranking for, what position they're in, the volume. Then we can go to organic research. And this switches over to the domain URL. So it's telling me all the keywords that they're ranking for, the search volume for those keywords. A nice position distribution here. We can look at competitors. And this will give you another idea of who else you would be competing against. Then we can jump down here to backlinks. And it'll give you a nice overview of where the backlinks are coming from, what kind of TDL authority they're coming from. You can actually click on the backlinks, and it'll take you in here and show you each individual backlink. So once again, you can reverse engineer what they're doing, try to get backlinks from where they're getting backlinks from. You can also look at the anchor text. And this is very important when you're building links to your site. You want a very diverse anchor text, but not only do you want it diverse, but anchor text basically tells Google what your site is about, why these sites are linking to you. And then you can look at referring domains, and you can just keep going through all this different stuff. So let's look at it for another website. Okay, so it hasn't found anything for this site or for that exact page. Let's check out the domain URL. And this is going to tell you kind of like their search performance. It's going to tell you whether or not they're mobile friendly, how much traffic they think they've been getting, their top organic keywords, their competitors, and all that good stuff. And you can just go through here. And it gives you a really good idea of who you're competing against and how you could outcompete them. You go look at their backlinks. And it's a really great tool. One thing I use this for is when I am doing search engine optimization for one of my own sites, then I'll plug it in here. And in this organic research section, since it shows you all the URLs you're going to be ranking for, or all the keywords that you're going to be ranking for, you can go through here and start to look at them because you might be targeting one keyword, but you're going to start ranking for a lot of other longer tail keywords or keywords that have more words in them. So it gives you a good idea of what you are ranking for. And that's really about it for SEMrush. It's a great tool, and I would really, if you're really serious about getting into SEO and once you start making a little bit of money, I would highly recommend that you get into it. So next we're going to look at BuzzSumo and look at social signals. Okay, so here we are at BuzzSumo, and this is an application that shows you the social signals of a specific website. Or you can kind of look at what's trending now on social media. Now, I did show you a free version of how to get, I guess, the social counts of a website, but as you're going to see, this goes in a lot more in depth. So let's go and take this article from the Little Backpacker and put this URL in here. Now what this is it took the page and you can view the Facebook shares, the LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, all the shares that this exact page has gotten. So it gives you a good idea of how many social shares you should get to kind of replicate and compete and reverse engineer the way that they're getting their social shares. Let's try going to the domain of the website. And as you can see, it'll break down every single page, not every page, but every page that BuzzSumo has in their database. And you can go through and you can look at how many Facebook shares and Twitter shares and Pinterest shares and so on each page has gotten. Now, one nice thing I like about this is you can go and see what has been shared most on social media, and it'll give you great ideas for content if you want to do some social media marketing. So let's look at PC Mag. This is going to be a lot bigger. Oh, and they didn't find any results for that exact article, but let's just go look at the domain. And as you can see, I mean, look at some of these. So still using Windows XP, this got 18.9 thousand likes or Facebook shares. I mean, this was looks like it was a very popular article. So you could kind of focus on something like that and just, go through and see what is getting a ton of shares on here. Another nice feature of BuzzSumo is the trending content. So you can go through and look at what is the highest shared content on these social media networks at this exact moment. You can look at it for the last 24 hours, 12, 8, 4, 2. So you can start to go through and see what is trending. Maybe there's something in your niche that's trending right now, and maybe you want to cover it, to get a little bit more social media exposure. And you can go through all of these and look through all of them. So we would probably stick to tech, and you can see how or what is trending in technology. So it gives you a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of other features, but that's really what I use it for. It is a great tool. I love it. It gives me a lot of great ideas and kind of lets me see what kind of social signals a competitor might be getting and how I can match that. Okay, so now that we're done with competition research, let's do a little summary of what we have learned. For backlink analysis, we want to use Majestic SEO, the Mozbar, and SEMrush. Now, Majestic has the free and the paid versions that I've showed you, and we want to look for sites that have low trust and citation flow. Those are going to be easier to compete with. And then we're going to look at the Mozbar. Now, I don't really prefer the paid version of Moz. I don't get that much out of it. Majestic SEO basically does the exact same thing. And the only thing that I really look at is page authority and domain authority, or PA and DA, and I can get that from the Mozbar for free. So when we're using the Mozbar, we want to look for sites with a low page authority and a low domain authority. These are going to give you the best chances to rank for a particular keyword. Now, when I use SEMrush, I'm looking at an overview of my competitor's site, and it allows me to see other competitors in the field and gives me a good indication of how difficult it will be to compete with that individual site. When we move on to social signals, we're going to use shared count for free and BuzzSumo for paid. And basically, we're just going to look for sites that don't have a lot of social signals. Social signals is going to show you whether or not the site has a lot of authority. So we're going to look for some with lower social signal counts. And we're going to use BuzzSumo to get some content ideas that we can share on social media. Now, for site authority, we're going to use a combination of these tools. Obviously, the Mozbar is one of the better ones for this, considering it has page authority and domain authority. So the higher those are, the more authoritative a site is. Also, you can use Majestic to look at those, and if they have a high trust and citation flow, then it is more of an authoritative site. And SEMrush will probably give you the best indication of authority based on what they are currently ranking for. You can also use the shared count and BuzzSumo to get authority signals to see how authoritative these sites are on social media. So that wraps it up for competition research. If you would like me to review any other tools, please leave a comment in the description below, and I will be the guinea pig and let you know my opinion on that exact tool. Other than that, if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, or would like to share how you do competition research, you can also leave those in the comments section below. Hey, congratulations on making it to the end. If you'd like to go to the next lesson, click the video to the right. If you'd like to go back to the previous lesson, click the video on the left.